back here on 970 WFLA talking about the local real estate market. We've got Richard Vasquez with Artisan Insurance and the Diaz duo with Waterstone Mortgage. And Richard, wanted to get to you really quickly. I know that we've seen some obviously legal situations with sinkholes, not disclosing a sinkhole not long ago. Mm-hmm. And you had some tips for our listeners on the insurance front.
Yeah, just want to make sure, because we're starting to see it a lot more. There was another one on one of the local news channels just the other day.
Which totally freaks people out.
Right.
It sucks when I see the news media report on a sinkhole, because now every home buyer out there thinks that it's kind of like what Canadians think about hurricanes here.
Right.
Like literally every Canadian I talk to thinks that like hurricanes just swarm our area like all year long. It's like we haven't been hit. Mm-hmm. But when you have a sinkhole on the TV, they're all freaked out about it.
Yeah. Well, and what you need to remember is that there was a time period where there were a lot of sinkhole claims being filed. And, that didn't mean that there were a lot of sinkholes, just means that there were a lot of sinkhole claims being filed. Yeah, there's a lot of fraud. So if you're looking in certain areas, and I don't want to spread, rumors or gossip about certain areas, but everybody knows where those areas are. If you're looking in certain areas, it's a good idea to just team up with an insurance agent, whether it's us, we're happy to do it, whether it's another insurance agent. If you start settling on a house now don't, every time you look at a house on Zillow, don't call your insurance agent and ask him to start.
Right. Get far along in the process. I'm going to make an offer. I'm negotiating. Something
exactly.
Like that.
If you're trying to settle on one or two houses and you just can't make up your mind between those one or two houses, your insurance agent should be part of that process, and he should be able to look at that house for you and tell you, has there been any sinkhole claims on it? Look at the permits. What's been done to this house? When was the last time a roof was replaced? Sure. The air conditioner, plumbing, things like that.
It's a resource a lot of people don't take advantage of and should, because, like you said, it does give them some history on what's happening.
Just to be clear, if the insurance was set with another carrier, you can still research it.
We can't look at that insurance policy, no, but we can look at permits and things like that. There's a lot of things now that you have to, technically you're supposed to pull a permit in order to,
right. And a lot of people don't.
Yeah, but do water heaters, air conditioners, roofs, things like that. So we know where to go, and we know the resources where we can find that information at.
So somebody's had a sinkhole and they got it repaired. You got a sinkhole inspection or sinkhole repair done, let's say 2 years ago.
There's a permit on file for that. Those companies don't operate without pulling permits. So
is there a concern that there'll be another sinkhole ever again there, or is that pretty much rectifies the problem?
Well, and I'll tell you, it's interesting, because even if it was, there's an engineering report on file, and even if everything was done completely great, it's like the scarlet letter. There's still going to be a certain consumer that's like, oh no, I don't want anything to do with that.
Well, lenders have concerns too.
Right.
Well, we've heard it.
And insurance companies.
So we've seen it on Chinese drywall too. So let's say, some of the hedge funds a few years ago were buying up Chinese drywall homes and then gutting them, basically, redoing everything. And there was this question about whether or not they have to disclose. They're like, look, we took care of the issue. You have to disclose. It used to have Chinese drywall, and my belief is just disclose. Like, just protect, always be disclosing. Mm-hmm. So, but, there were builders, and we didn't list any of them, but they reached out to us and talked to us. And I'll tell you that, even if it's been completely redone, even if the sinkhole's been taken care of, there's still going to be consumers that are going to be scary, spooked about it. It's like that word is going to spook some people.
Well, there's that one sinkhole now that we're dealing with in Seffner that's all over the news, and it grew and then it quit, so they started doing some remediations on it. It started expanding again, so you never know.
It's certainly, and I don't mean to say that you shouldn't be concerned about sinkholes. Obviously, if you're buying in Seffner, you're buying in an area where it's been common, do your due diligence, no question. But the likelihood of a sinkhole is a pretty small percentage of all the homes that are out there.
Exactly. I mean, that one's garnering lots of attention in the news right now, but think of overall how many homes there are in Seffner. There's tens and tens and probably hundreds of thousands
that are perfectly fine with no settlement issues.
And they're never going to have any issues, but just because those two houses have the sinkhole in between them.
Is there such a thing as sinkhole insurance? Is there such a thing as that?
There is, yeah. It's a little bit different today. There used to be a type of insurance called Sinkhole Insurance, and it was attached to your homeowner's insurance policy. That's what got
Cut.
abused, and now is cut, and it's really difficult to get on any insurance
There's
policy.
no such thing as sinkhole insurance.
Well, now you have another one. They had to change the name. It's called catastrophic ground cover collapse, and it's
Catastrophic.
Yeah, let's don't call it sinkhole anymore.
yeah.
So basically, it's
they
sinkhole
changed-
insurance.
It's sinkhole insurance, but in order to file a claim, certain conditions have to be met first.
Well,
I
we're
mean,
up against the break, guys. We're gonna continue the sinkhole insurance
Catastrophic.
coverage after a quick break here on 970 WLA.